1251, part of the Mayan civilization was evacuated from Earth by the Sasmi government. It seems that the Mayan civilization was in great danger, caused by a terrible plague. At that time, a scientific research ship of the state of Sasmi was on Earth, with the consent of the states of the Pastros Treaty. Secretly, in violation of the Tikkara protocol, the Sasmi researchers got in touch directly with the Mayans, teaching them different things and researching their culture at the same time. With the arrival of the plague, the situation became very dangerous for the Mayans. Leaders in 40 cities have asked their friends from the stars to save them. Researchers have called on their government for help. Specifically, they called for the development of a treatment and a vaccine against that disease. The government rejected the request. The Mayans began to die one by one, and the desperate researchers secretly transported a Mayan delegation, which appeared directly in front of a Queen Munre. The queen of the state of Sasmi finally succumbed, decided to evacuate 200,000 Mayans elected by their leaders. They were to be colonized on the planet Trador, which had a severe population deficit, but they had to somehow go around the states of the Pastros Treaty, a treaty that was also signed by the state of Sasmi. 50 cruise ships destined for tourist transport, escorted by 28 warships, were secretly sent to Earth. In parallel, 2 Sasmi warships docked on the Quasar space station that was orbiting Mars. The Sasmi ships caused a diplomatic dispute with the rival state Okone, arresting the crew of the cargo ship, which was there to supply the station with materials. As more and more Ogone and Sasmi ships were gathering around the station, ready for battle, the evacuation fleet reached Earth and embarked 200,000 Mayan citizens. Once the evacuation was completed, the incident on the Quasar space station was settled. A few months later, we learned of the relocation of part of the Mayan population to Trador. It was a serious violation of the Tikkara protocol, and Sasmi had to be held accountable. International sanctions, product embargoes, and travel restrictions were immediately imposed. However, Sasmi was an economic superpower and was not very affected by this situation. What Sasmi gained from this situation was an increase in population on a newly colonized planet, which helped them to better and faster exploit the resources on Trador. The Mayans became subjects of the state, but their rights were not equal to those of the Sasmi. Rather, the Mayans had more obligations, among them the payment of evacuation expenses, which were huge. Over 150 years, the autonomous Mayan province of Trador had to provide services and resources to the central government to recover the expenses.